Good evening, this is Rodney with the Triton Waves update for Monday, July 30th. If we take a look at let's start off with the S&P. On the left-hand chart, the daily chart, T1 is above zero, T2 is approaching above zero, and on the right-hand chart, the 144 consolidated, you can see that there are a series of higher highs and higher lows in the 144 cash price, which is great except for the fact that the waves are lower highs and lower lows. So this might pop a little bit higher, but I think there is going to be some kind of a retracement here. Whether it can continue higher or whether it's just going to roll over is something we'll have to wait and see. If we switch over to the comparison in the two charts between the 144 cash and the 21-minute cash, you can see the higher highs and the lower highs on T1. But on the 21-minute, you've captured from 611, which is everything on the right-hand screen is above zero on the 144 on the 144-minute chart. So all of these are playable. Right now, T1 is above zero, T2 is above zero, T3 is above zero, T4 and T5. So it all looks good except for the fact that if you draw a trend line from these highs and the lows, it all looks very good. My thinking here is that it's way overextended, but you still have to, it probably will come down to some kind of a 50% retracement, which will seem like a lot. But basically no short position should be taken until the 21 is below zero, and then we can re-examine it to see if it's actually a short that you can take a swing position on, or if it's still a day trading market. As far as day trading goes, I tried looking at the day trading on the S&P futures. The 1957, which is usually, the 1597, which is usually a good indicator of what's going on, was completely above zero, as was the 21-minute on the left-hand chart. So on T5 on both of them. So in order to actually play this, unless you got in long and just stayed long the whole day, if you break it down and you actually wanted to do some trades during the day, you can see if you just played T1, it went down right at 8:30. Started turning at 8:48, and you can see as I move the cursor across the screen that you should only take these trades on the upside because the downside was very minimal. But not knowing what the downside was going to be, since T5 is above zero on the 21-minute and the 610 tick, only trades to the upside should be taken. So if you wanted to get out at 9:07, get back in at 9:42, get out here, get in here, and basically you can just follow it all day long. There are some that have a little glitches in them. When they start getting glitches, you move down to T2 to follow them, and they become a lot cleaner. So it's a juggle between going from one to the next. And right now, as of 5:50 p.m. Sunday evening, the S&Ps are down 275, and it's down to the 377 exponential moving average. Now this really very much went up to the point where I thought it was going to be on the left-hand chart. I thought we were going to be 377, about 370 to 375, so it's 7 points higher than my expectations, but we rode this all the way from 1330. So it's 1330 to approximately 1375. Moving ahead to Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, on the left-hand chart is the T1 through T5, and the right-hand chart is the consolidation. So you can see where in how they grouped and how they went up. Again, this was a buy on July 23rd at around $93, and it looked like it was going to take out the 377 here and just move on higher. I actually expected it to hit around 99 or 100. It went to 101. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. These are all very peaky. Very high peaks at on July 3rd, and it's matching the peak now. So maybe this can carry forward, maybe this can't. Let's take a look at a daily chart to see. Now on a daily chart, this has gone, the T1 wave has gone up above zero. So Goldman may actually take off another 6 or 7 points before this is all done. So on the daily looks terrific. The 21 looks a little bit peaky. So if you were to buy this, I would wait till this came down a little bit, maybe to these tops at 98, 99, and see where the market is. And as long as T1 and this grouping over here is above zero, then this is still a buy, even if it comes back to 98. On the left-hand chart, looking at Amazon, we see the daily chart. It completely took off. Now the indication on the waves was because T5 is kind of hovering around zero, and T1 was completely below zero. It looked like it was going down to 194, which is what I thought at the time. This is a good example of why you don't play directionals in options on the day of earnings announcements, because you can have your head handed to you. As it was, 3 minutes after the announcement, Amazon went from 217 down to 201, and then started climbing back up slowly in after hours and opened up 18 points and finished up 17 points. So the waves can look good. Don't trade them around. Don't trade them around earnings, because even though they lost a penny, even though they were a penny shy of expectations, they had a tremendous run along with the market. And so you have to be very careful. Okay, let's look at Baidu. Baidu on the left-hand chart here, T1 has gone above zero and took that for a nice ride from 114 up to 123. There is a lot of congestion here. This does give it a positive run to the upside. It is running into all the it's kind of running up to and finished right at the top of all the exponential moving averages. On the 20, that's a daily on the left. On the right-hand side, there's been so much activity around earnings that it's just very choppy, and there's no clear reading on what's going to happen. Even if we go down to, if you want to day trade this on a 610 tick chart, you can use T2 here, but there's still, you're talking about like 2 points either direction. It's not really worth the trade. Looking at Netflix, Netflix made a slight recovery, basically with the market on Friday, up $1.91. Netflix looks like it's rolling over, but it still could come back up to it still could come up to 67 and still be in a decline with T1, and that's on the daily. On the 21-minute chart, you can this actually T4 actually went down below zero at $83 on 7/17, and if you stayed with that, you actually would have caught this 20% move to the downside. Right now, it looks like it has a little gas to get up and maybe come back up to the old support, which was around 66.67, and that's confirmed on the daily at 68. So somewhere in this area for an immediate play. Okay, looking at MasterCard. MasterCard on the daily, if you look at T5, it's been going up, confirming the upward bias. Sorry, but it looks like it's starting to roll over right here. However, it's rolling over. It looks like it's rolling over. T1 is below zero. T2, T3, T4. That did not stop the stock on the 21-minute from when it took its dive. If you follow T2 from 433 down to 405, and then immediately turned around. So you can use the daily and the Triton waves on the daily chart as a confirmation of which direction that you want to take as an anchor. But these 21-minute charts are very, very playable. As you can see, let's just put a line on this for a second. Alright, right at this point happened to be the exact pivot of the bottom. So these can become swing trades. This was like good for 7/5, July 5th to July 11th, to July 18th, to July 25th, and we are still moving in the direction of the upside, even though the long-term daily looks like it's getting weaker. GLD on the daily has been basically going sideways 3 or 4 points for the last 2 months. It looks like the bias might be turning to the upside. I see T2 is coming above zero, and it actually did that when the stock was, let me see here. Let's just see exactly when it went above zero. It went above zero. Now T1 was already above zero. T2 went above zero on the 24th of July at 153, and now it's at 157. So it looks like the bias to GLD is on the upside. Now this is obviously going to reflect gold prices, what's going on with the euro, what's going on with bonds, but just as a pure play in the gold shares, that's what I see. On the 21-minute, really it doesn't give you any kind of a significant view of or any heads up of what's going to happen. Okay, looking at Google on the daily, T1 managed to get above zero on July 16th, and the 8 crossed to 21. They both crossed to 377, and then they started to approach the 55 exponential moving average. So that's been in place since Google at 581. It's now $50, about $50 higher. If you you can see from the cursor, the right-hand chart is 21-minute. The left-hand chart is the daily. If you bring the cursor over to when it actually reversed on July 16th, it's this part of the 21, and you can see that it moved above on T2 and T1 a little bit earlier. T2 confirmed it, T3 confirmed it, T4 confirmed it, T5 confirmed it. even though T1 dipped below 0, T5 was above 0 on the 21 minute, and on the daily T1 was above 0 and decreasing a decreasing wave towards 0 on T2. So even if you wanted to take it out for that section and just wait for a pure buy, that would have happened at 6:13. It's now 6:31. So I expect all of these to continue until the 21 starts rolling over. And as an upside target, let me see. We're probably looking at least 650 on this. Okay, before I wrap this up, I just want to take one more look. We're down now 225 on the S&Ps at 6:08 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, and it looks like it's being boxed in by these parallel lines of higher highs and higher lows. So we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Again, I would not take a position on the downside until the 21 minute crossed below 0 as it did on July 19th, and that might be a really nice play. This actually could happen soon, or it could happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I do expect either a pop or a sideways struggle as it moves a little bit higher and it looks like it wants to roll over a little bit. It's very, very peaky. If you have any questions or comments, I am posting this on YouTube, and you can write in the comments any stocks that you want me to highlight and look at. I will try to do my best to bring them up the next night. Have a good evening, and I'll see you at the next update.